Hi, everybody. I'm Lori Pinhorn, social worker and holistic nutritionist, and I am the creator of LoriPinhorn.com. And I'm here today to have another chat with you guys, a video blog about carbohydrates and how that carbohydrate gets translated into sugars into your body. So I look at people's food journals. People send them to me electronically or they send me little pictures of their journals. And quite honestly, what I see in people's journals a lot is a lot of breads, rice, pasta, nachos, wraps, buns, muffins, things like that. And I always say to people, like, be really, really mindful of your grains. And I've started trying to explain this mathematical carbohydrate formula to people because it can really help people move forward with their management of their health, and possibly if you have any chronic illnesses that are really connected to insulin and inflammation and things like that. So I was getting ready to film this video that was going to go out to my clients for their homework and things like that, and I thought the information is just too important here to kind of keep it to ourselves. So this is what I want you to understand about your carbohydrates and how they translate into sugars in your body. So this is sort of the formula. You know how when you're going on a trip to the States, you're always, looking at the news to sort of see, like, how does my Canadian dollars transfer and translate into American dollars? So this is sort of like how this works. So you're not actually eating direct teaspoons of sugar, but if you wanted to translate how the carbohydrates that you're eating get translated into sugar into your body and how much of an insulin response you're going to get as a result of eating that carbohydrate. This is how it works. So when you look at your food label and you see in the box on the label how many grams of carbohydrates are in the food that you're eating, you can do some really quick math and figure this out. So let's just use 2 slices of whole grain bread as an example. Even if it's a really, what we think is a high quality 2 slices of bread. So let's just use Dempster's whole grain bread, the one in the red label, which, a lot of people eat. So there's 17 grams of carbohydrate in each one of those slices of bread. And most of the time when people have bread, they often have 2 slices, whether for your breakfast or they're making sandwiches out of it. So what we know is that that's 34 grams of carbohydrates that you're having in that one meal. You divide that 34 by 4. You're always dividing the total carbohydrates by 4. You'll know how many teaspoons of sugar that translates to in your body and what kind of an insulin response you're going to get from that grams. So I did the math. And so if you eat 2 slices of bread at the one sitting, your body is actually responding to about 8.5 teaspoons of sugar. Now, nobody would ever sit down for their breakfast, eat 8.5 teaspoons of sugar, but that's what's happening in your body. The insulin response is happening. And so this is the thing. You can only store so much carbohydrates in the muscles of your body at one time. And then when you tapped out in your storage there, what happens is there's an overflow, sort of like when you go camping and there's not enough space in the park, you got to go to the overflow section. So the carbohydrate overflow section first is your liver, and then when your liver gets tapped out, there's another overflow. And guess where that overflow is? It gets totally translated into fat and gets stored in your fat cells. So when you eat too many grams of carbohydrate at one meal, then you're almost always in overflow to the liver, overflow into your fat cells, and that's where people run into trouble with managing their health. So 2 slices of bread is like 8.5 teaspoons of sugar. If you were going to have a piece of a portion of pasta, 3/4 of a cup of pasta is actually like 60 grams of carbohydrates. Can you believe that? It's not even a cup of pasta. I did the math on that too, and so that works out to about 15 teaspoons of sugar. So every time you sit down to your pasta dinner, you're having that kind of insulin translation happening in your body. Even some of the really low sugar breakfast cereals, like steel cut oats or even shredded wheat. So shredded wheat has 0 sugar in it. And years ago, I used to say if you had to have cereal, that was a decent one to have. But you're still having about 9.5 teaspoons of insulin response in your body when you have even what we think is a really healthy cereal. So Hope you enjoyed the message for today. The big message is that our grains are way too high. Our breads, pastas, rice, all of that stuff is happening way, way, way too much. And as a result of it, we're almost always in fat storage mode. One more piece of the formula to know is that if you're over about 30 grams of carbohydrates at each meal, there's a good chance you're in fat storage mode. So degrain your brain, degrain your plate, because you will have far more health success when you actually look at those numbers. So have a happy, healthy day. I'll see you next week. Bye.